Big John's ex-boss had a tenant in one of his barns who had not been paying rent for some months. The bloke had been given plenty of notice to shift all his junk out, but he had gone nowhere near. They loaded up a grain trailer with various metal items for me, brought it up and tipped, but this caused rather a problem in that the yard was already full. I was going to have to make other arrangements. They had a big caravan to come as well. It was a 20-foot long job, and I decided to put it down by the hay shed out of the way for the time being. Later that week, the tenant who rented one of our fields we owned down by the hay shed called in to say we had squatters. Dad and I thought he was on the wind-up, him being a bit of a merchant for that type of rubbish. I had a ride down there with my father on the tractor, and sure enough, a rotten old Mark 1 Ford Sierra full of black bin bags, spilling clothes out everywhere, was pulled to the left of our gate. Out of the tractor's toolbox we grabbed a big spanner. Giving a shout of, "Hello, what are you up to then?" over the gate, a fella and his missus appeared out of the caravan door. I was ready, just in case the situation was about to turn nasty, but the man was really friendly and just looked bloody desperate. He and his wife were living rough in the old Sierra, looking for work in rural areas. She had not felt well the previous evening, and when they had spotted the caravan down behind the edge, they'd taken refuge overnight, hoping it might become more permanent if we had some work going. I explained the thing was just scrap, and only parked there for a few days, but permitted them to stay for the rest of the day. They were as good as gold, and left it as found, even with a little note thanking us on the table inside. How desperate a situation to find yourself having to kip in a stranger's scrap caravan in the field. All quite bizarre and sad, really. Desperation came to our yard in different forms. One weekend, an old customer from the motorcycle breaking days arrived in a chocolate brown mid-1970s Reliant Robin van. Being mostly fiberglass, I didn't really feel the need to own it despite him giving me the hard sell. I felt even less inclined after noting the registration number ended 666P. This was an omen, surely. After endless deliberations, the guy not wanting to take it back home with him, well, would you? I handed over a crisp £20 note and became the proud owner. The battery on it seemed okay, and if nothing else, the wheels might fit a trailer. It acted as a hilarious conversation starter in the yard for the rest of the week. Bert, a bloke who had been one of my dad's TV rental customers for decades and lived down the village, got wind of the thing being here. Lord knows who told him, but he was well known for being perpetually skinned, doing a lot of hedge mumping, looking for bits and pieces of wood to burn and rabbits to shoot. He had several of these Reliants at various times. Only having a motorcycle licence, you could still drive the three-wheeled car back then. A grubby handshake later, and I agreed to drive it down to park it outside his council house, dropping it off the next day in the street. He paid me and I left. Bumping into him a few days after, he was laughing, asking how I managed to get the thing to run out of petrol just as I pulled up. Because when they tried to put it on the garden off the street, the fuel gauge didn't work and the thing wouldn't start. No fuel in it at all. I guess that the 666 registration number wasn't quite such a bad omen after all. Hello there. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed this one, I'd like to see a few more, then please like, share and subscribe. It is appreciated and it does mean a lot. Also check out my merchandise channel, which I now can't think of the address of, so I won't fucking bother. Alright? Cheers then. Ta-da.